Everyone thinks Wisconsin is still cheap. And compared to Chicago, California, or Florida, maybe it is. But when you actually look at what buyers are paying in Southeast Wisconsin right now, the story quickly changes fast, because some of these communities are no longer just affordable Midwest suburbs. They are high demand markets with high incomes and markets where buyers are paying over asking, moving quickly, and spending serious money to get in. So today I'm breaking down Wisconsin's 10 most expensive areas in 2026, but this is the Southeast Wisconsin edition. We are focusing on the larger communities my team covers across the counties in Milwaukee, Waukesha, Kenosha, Racine, and Walworth. But there's one rule. The municipality has to have at least 20,000 residents. So we're not talking about tiny luxury villages, no River Hills, no Elm Grove, no Chikena, no tiny lake towns with 4,000 people and a handful of $1 million homes. The list is based on communities with bigger population, real buyer demand of moving to, and real MLS data. And we're ranking them by median sale price from January 1st through April 30th of 2026. One quick note before we start. When I mention square footage and price per square foot, remember this. MLS square footage can sometimes include the finished lower level or the finished basement space, depending on how much property was measured and entered. So price per square foot is helpful, but is not perfect. The real story is the full picture. Median sale price, square footage, days on market, sold to list ratio, and most importantly, why buyers are willing to pay these numbers in the first place. Because real estate is never just one number. It is the story behind the number. And with that, let's start with the most expensive area on the list and work ourselves backwards. Coming in at number one is Franklin. Medium sale price, $547,000, and Franklin is in Milwaukee County. Population is roughly in the upper 30,000s, and it covers about 35 square miles. And based on the 2026 MLS data we pulled, Franklin comes in at number one. From January 1st through April 30th of 2026, Franklin has 70 closed single-family sales. And again, the median sale price came in just under at $550,000. The median home was 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, with about 2,300 square feet. That median sold price was around $245, and the median sold to original list price was 100%. So let's slow that down. The median Franklin home sold for over $500,000. And it's sold at the original list price. That means buyers are not just looking, they are accepting the market. And that is what makes Franklin so interesting, because most people may not immediately think of Franklin as the most expensive big community on this list, but the data says otherwise. Why? Well, because Franklin's housing stock supports higher prices. The homes are larger, the lots are more suburban, the neighbors feel more spread out, and the buyer pool is often looking for that move-up home, not just an entry-level property. Now, there are entry-level properties, but the median home was 4 bedrooms with nearly 2,300 square feet. So buyers are paying for space, they're paying for that garage, that yard, and of course, that quiet street. The newer subdivision, but they're also paying for location. Franklin gives buyers suburban space without completely disconnecting you from Milwaukee County. You are close to Oak Creek, I-94, MKE Airport, downtown Milwaukee, and shopping and employment corridors. That combination is very powerful. Franklin is not flashy by any means. It is practical suburban wealth. And in 2026, that practical suburban wealth is commanding the highest median sale price on the list. But number two is one of the most proven real estate markets in Wisconsin. It's not loud money, but it's stable. And if you want to learn more about Brookfield, check out our full Brookfield video where I talk about the lifestyle, neighborhoods, and why buyers continue to choose a little bit more in depth in that video. Because next, we're talking about Brookfield. Coming in at number two is Brookfield, and Brookfield's median sale price was $530,000. Brookfield is located in Waukesha County with a population of around 41,000 people, and it covers up to 27 square miles. And Brookfield is one of the most established executive suburbs in Southeast Wisconsin. From January 1st through April 30th of 2026, Brookfield has closed 95 single-family homes, with again, the median sale price was coming in at $530,000. That was good for 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, with about 2,300 square feet, very similar to Franklin. The median sold price per square foot was $241, and the median sold to original list price was 100.08%. So the median Brookfield home sold slightly above the list price. So at $530,000, Brookfield is not cheap, but it's also not as speculative in the way of some emerging markets can be that's on our list today. Brookfield is proven. It's been proven for decades, and buyers know exactly what they're paying for, and that's why they put this on their list. You got strong schools in their district, executive housing, shopping in the corners of Brookfield and close to Mayfair Mall and Wauwatosa. Plus you have healthcare, access to the highway. That gives Brookfield that major appeal. And when you combine that with the established neighborhoods and the long-term strength of resale, Brookfield's the type of market where buyers are not chasing a trend. They're buying stability and they're buying that trust, plus on top of that convenience. And trust is expensive. That is why Brookfield continues to sit near the top. It may not have the lake lifestyle like Muskego, it may not have the walkability like Wauwatosa, but it has something just as valuable, predictability. And where people are spending over $500,000 on a home, that kind of matters. Now, before we move to number 3, this is exactly why we make these videos, because if you only listen to the headlines, you miss the real story. One community is expensive because of schools, another because of lifestyle, and another because of what's going there in the development. So if you want more real estate breakdowns like this across Southeast Wisconsin, subscribe to our channel. This is where we break down the market before the rest of the market fully catches on. Now, number 3 brings in a completely different driver: water, recreation, lifestyle, and one of the strongest emotional pulls in Waukesha County. Coming at number 3 is Muskego. And Muskego's median sale price April 30th was $520,000. Muskego is around 25,000 people who reside there, and it covers up to 35 square miles. Muskego comes at number 3 for many reasons. Through the first 4 months of 2026, Muskego had 42 closed sales, with the median sale price, again, $520,000. The median home price was 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, with just over 2,200 square feet. The median sale price per square foot was $247 per that time period. And the median sold to original list price was 100.01%. That means the median home sold essentially at the original list price, just a little bit over. So at $520,000, here's what makes Muskego different. This is not just a suburb. This is where buyers can get that yard, that garage, and the school system with the privacy. And the best part is you still have access to lakes and recreation. And that changes the emotional pull in the market, because people are not just buying a house, they're buying weekends, they're buying family time, they're buying summers. And Muskego gives you a little bit of that combination, plus being close to amenities, highway access, and shopping. And the best part is you're not disconnected from Milwaukee Metro. So why is Muskego so expensive? Well, I just summed it up. You see lake homes, larger lots, newer subdivisions, custom homes, and access, and lifestyle that's geared for families and young professionals. So a buyer who wants a little bit more traditional subdivision, Muskego gives them that. It feels like Waukesha County suburbia with a recreational edge, and that edge is valuable because number 4 is different. It does not need lakefront, it does not need hype. It's expensive because it simply works. Coming in number 4 is the village of Menomonee Falls, located in Waukesha County. Population is around 41,000 people, and it covers 33 square miles. And in my opinion, this is one of the strongest family-focused markets in Southeast Wisconsin. From January 1st to April 30th of 2026, Menomonee Falls had 116 single-family sales. The median price was $514,000. And the median home was 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms with just under 2,000 square feet. The median sold price was $255 per square foot. That is the highest so far on our list. And the median sold to list price was around 100%. So again, buyers are paying right around the original list price, and that median is already over $500,000. Menomonee Falls is expensive because it has a little bit of everything. That is the cleanest way to put it. Families want space, they want schools, and they want newer subdivisions. They want that strong community feel, but they still want access to Milwaukee, plus access to the rest of Waukesha County, and Menomonee Falls gives you that. The real estate here is move-up buyer driven. Larger homes, newer neighborhoods, established subdivisions, and buyers who are thinking long-term. One of my childhood friends is buying in the Evergreen Fields neighborhood, which is a newer subdivision, and one of the main appeals when we were searching was the schools, and this one happened to be in Marcy Elementary School territory, one of the top public elementary schools in the entire state of Wisconsin. This is not market built on hype, it's built on the quality of life for your family and for your everyday living. And quality of life is one of the strongest price drivers in real estate. Now, moving on to number 5, that takes us south into my hometown, Kenosha County. And this is where the story starts to change. One of the strongest premium markets in Kenosha County, and I've said this several times on my channel, is the village of Pleasant Prairie. The village of Pleasant Prairie is in Kenosha County with a population of just over 22,000 people, and it covers roughly 34 square miles. And if you're looking at Kenosha County, Pleasant Prairie is the premium market that keeps showing up. This is not random. Pleasant Prairie has the ideal location. You have I-94 access, the Illinois border, Lake Andrea, the Recplex, shopping at the premium outlet malls. You have hospitals, employers, and of course newer subdivisions like Highland Estates, one of the large projects coming to Pleasant Prairie for the next decade. That is a serious combination. From January 1st through April 30th of 2026, Pleasant Prairie has 52 closed single-family sales. And the median sale price was $490,000. And the median was 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms with about 2,200 square feet. The median sold price per square foot was $209. And again, that includes some of the finished basement space. And the median sold to original list price was at 98.7%. Now, compare that to the same time period last year in 2025. From January 1st to April 30th of last year, Pleasant Prairie had 39 closed sales with a median sale price of $430,000, and that got you 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms with just over 2,000 square feet, but the median price per square foot was $198. So year to date, Pleasant Prairie moved from $430,000 to $490,000. That is a major jump, and it tells you exactly what's happening here. Buyers are still paying for Pleasant Prairie, and out of all the counties that we cover, Kenosha County has got the tightest inventory market, and that's kind of one of the driving factors why it's expensive. And a buyer coming from Lake County, Illinois, may look at Pleasant Prairie and see unbelievable amount of value, because a local buyer in Kenosha County may look at the same home and see premium. The outside demand changes the market here entirely. And Pleasant Prairie has something that buyers love. It feels polished, it feels convenient, it feels like it just keeps getting better, and feels like a community where you can live, work, commute, shop, and most importantly, raise a family without giving up access to major employment opportunities. But here's the catch. Pleasant Prairie has already been discovered. The secret is out. And when an area is already proven, you usually don't get a discount at all. Number 6 is another Waukesha market that does not always get thought about in the luxury spotlight, but the numbers say buyers are paying serious money to move in here, and it's one of those places that I'd put in that list if you're looking for a value play. Coming in at number 6 is New Berlin, population around 40,000 people, and it covers 36 square miles. And New Berlin is one of the most practical, high-demand markets in the region. From January 1st to April 30th of 2026, 74 closed single-family sales with the median sale price at $443,000. That got you 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and about 1,900 square feet. The median sold price per square foot came in just under $240, and the median sold to original list price was at 100.12%. New Berlin is expensive because it's extremely practical. Location, space, schools, Waukesha County demand, and convenience. New Berlin gives buyers access to Milwaukee, Waukesha, Brookfield, and the southwest suburbs without feeling too far out. The real estate here is a mix of established neighborhoods, larger lots, and move-up homes. It's not always flashy, but it's highly functional, and functional sells. A buyer may not always say, I want the flashiest house in New Berlin, but they will say, I want a good location. I want space. I want a good commute. I want a house that makes sense. That is New Berlin. And in the market, makes sense can still mean over $440,000. Now, moving on to number 7, this is one of the most famous lifestyle markets in the Milwaukee area. This is where buyers are paying for charm, walkability, identity. It's also the area where I first met my wife at when we were dating, and I would drive up there and got to know the area. And I'm talking about Wauwatosa. Wauwatosa is in Milwaukee County. Population is around 49,000 people. It covers roughly 14 square miles, so it's very dense compared to the other places on our list. And Wauwatosa may be one of the best examples in Wisconsin of lifestyle-driven real estate. This is where buyers are not just asking how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms. They were asking, can I walk to coffee? Can I get to restaurants pretty easily? Can I live near the medical campus? Can I get character and charm in my house? And can I be close to downtown Milwaukee without living in downtown? And the answer is yes to each of these questions. These are the many reasons why Wauwatosa, also known as Tosa, is expensive. From January 1st through April 30th of 2026, Wauwatosa had 159 closed single-family sales, with the median sale price coming in at $421,000. And again, that got you 3 bedrooms, 2-bathroom property with just about 1,850 square feet. And the median sold price per square foot was $236. And the median sold to original list price was over 101%. So the median homes in Wauwatosa sold above original list price. And that tells you buyers are competing. Why is it expensive? Again, scarcity and lifestyle. There is only so much inventory in the best parts of Tosa, and when a good home hits the market, buyers know it. You can see homes sell here over $50,000 to $80,000 over the list price, and sometimes even more depending on the home. The real estate here is different from the bigger lot suburbs. It's older. You got historic architecture, walkable. You have a downtown here. You have smaller lots. This is a lot different than in a lot of the areas on our list today. You got tree-lined streets, restaurants, coffee shops, and proximity to some of the strongest employment centers in the Milwaukee area. Wauwatosa has something a lot of communities are trying to create: identity. And in real estate, identity helps sell a place. Now, number 8 is another Milwaukee County market that is growing fast. And this one has quietly become one of the biggest development stories in the region. Coming at number 8 is Oak Creek in Milwaukee County. Population roughly in the high 30,000s, and it covers 28 square miles. And Oak Creek has become one of the fastest changing communities in southeast Wisconsin. This city has been completely reshaped over the last decade. Drexel Town Square changed the image of Oak Creek with its Saturday fresh markets, restaurants, coffee, and the other retail options. The IKEA corridor brought more attention. New apartments, more restaurants, more retail, medical, commercial development. All that turned Oak Creek into even a more real destination. From January 1st to April 30th of 2026, Oak Creek has 42 closed single-family sales on the MLS. The median sale price was $420,000, and that got you a median home with 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms with about 1,800 square feet. The median sold price per square foot was $240, and the median sold to original list price was about 101%. So again, this is a market where the median home sold above original list price. That means buyers are not just interested, they're competing. Why is Oak Creek so expensive? My simple answer is growth and convenience. And probably access, which kind of ties into convenience. Buyers want newer housing. They want Milwaukee County access. They want to be close to I-94, the airport, downtown Milwaukee, Lake Michigan, shopping, and jobs. Oak Creek gives them that. And here's the key with Oak Creek. The city feels like it has more room to grow, because lots of buyers do not just pay for what the area is today. They pay for what the area is becoming as well, and Oak Creek is still becoming. Now, number 9 is the largest city on the list. It is not the most expensive, but it is one of the most active, and the data shows buyers are still moving fast. Let's go. Coming in at number 9 is Waukesha. In Waukesha County. We're talking about the city here. Population is around 71,000 people, and it covers 25 square miles. And this is one of the biggest and most active housing markets in the entire list. Waukesha has a lot to offer. You have starter homes to dream homes, older neighborhoods, condos, move-up homes, newer subdivisions, and you get a downtown charm just like Wauwatosa, and access to Waukesha County living without forcing every buyer into Brookfield or Menomonee Falls prices. From January 1st to April 30th, Waukesha had 175 closed single-family sales. The median sale price was $400,000, and the median home that got you was 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms with just about 1,850 square feet, with the median sold price was $235. And the median sold to original list price was 101%. Again, another place on our list where the median sale price was sold above the original list price. And with 175 closed sales, that is not a tiny sample. That is a real market showing the volume. Why is Waukesha expensive? Well, even when it seems to give buyers scale, more homes in more neighborhoods, along with more price points and more ways to get into Waukesha County, it gives buyers options. Now, the next and final place on our list is the least expensive, but do not confuse that with weak, because the numbers are showing that buyers are still competing. Number 10, the last place on our list in today's video is Greenfield in Milwaukee County. Population is roughly in the upper 30,000 and it covers about 12 square miles. And Greenfield is one of those markets that does not always get talked about as expensive, but the data shows that buyers are competing hard here. From January 1st to April 30th, Greenfield has 51 closed single-family sales with the median sale price at $360,000. Our first and only area that's under $400,000, and the median home was 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms with just over 1,800 square feet, and the median sold price per square foot was $213. Now, get this though, the median sold to original list price ratio was over 102%. That means the median Greenfield home price sold above the list price by an average of 2%. This is not a sleepy market. This is a market that's showing demand. And Greenfield is getting pulled by location. You're close to Milwaukee, you're close to the southwest suburbs, close to shopping, close to the freeway, and close to the airport. And still more obtainable than Wauwatosa, Franklin, or Brookfield. Why is Greenfield expensive? Well, that's kind of a loaded question. I'd say it's somewhat affordable expensive because when buyers cannot afford the market next over, they look to the next best option. And Greenfield is one of those places that benefits from being close to high-priced communities while still offering more accessible entry point. It is not the flashiest name on the list. Obviously, it's number 10, but it is competitive. And sometimes the market tells you what buyers value before the headlines do. So in closing, what is the real takeaway that I want you to take from this video? Southeast Wisconsin is not as cheap as people think anymore, and these areas are not expensive for the same reason. Franklin is expensive because buyers want space inside Milwaukee County. Brookfield is expensive because buyers trust the market. Muskego is expensive because lifestyle and water creates emotion. Menomonee Falls is expensive because families want schools, subdivisions, and stability. Pleasant Prairie is expensive because Illinois commutes and corporate growth are pushing demand. New Berlin is expensive because, well, it's practical and very well positioned on the map. Wauwatosa is expensive because of walkability, charm, identity. Oak Creek, expensive because it's still growing into one of the Milwaukee County's strongest development stories. Waukesha, expensive because it gives buyers scale inside Waukesha County. And Greenfield is competitive because it gives buyers location and relative affordability. The market does not care what people used to think Wisconsin was. The market only cares what buyers are willing to pay right now. And in 2026, buyers are paying a lot more than people realize. So if you're thinking about buying, selling, relocating, or investing anywhere in Southeast Wisconsin, reach out to my team. We help people make smart real estate decisions with data, local knowledge, and strategy. And if you want more breakdowns like this, subscribe to the channel because we are going to keep covering Southeast Wisconsin and Northern Illinois to make sure you're the most informed audience before you decide to make a move. And again, I'm Tony Bitar, your real estate professional in Wisconsin and Illinois, and I'll see you on the next one.